scene. Welcome to the Curry Stew episode 10. Yours truly, Richard DiiSiiMO and DJ Big Daddy. Welcome. Wam no Big Daddy.
Hi there. Long time. What's the scene?
I just cool, you know. Are you ready for this one?
You know, we say all kind of thing like long time and it's been a while, and you know, you use phrases like that and people really don't have a clue as to how long it takes between, you know, what's the space between episodes. Well, we will just leave it as that, right?
We'll just leave it as that for now. Yeah. Because I mean, for today's topic, we were discussing it a little while ago, and we're going to speak about a trend that happens now, and I believe I know where it came from, you know. So let's start with that, Big Daddy. Let's break it down to them.
All right. Well, what we're going to talk about is the fact that a lot of the artists and bands and groups and whatever else you want to call them in the chutney soca, chutney arena have started in a very, very big way, in a way that has just taken over everything. Started to record a lot of songs, of covers, of chutney, of traditional chutney soca, to perform them on stage as part of their set. So you find a lot of them talking about, well, I need to record this so I could perform in X, Y, and Z. I have this recorded, so my performance will be a little wider, a little broader. My set will be a little different. What I'm delivering to the people is something that, because of my recording, now I can deliver to them due to my recording. And I am trying to figure out, I'm kind of baffled as to how
I need to find out what sense does that make to you.
Yeah. To me, it's like, I mean, we always had bands in the past 15, 20 years ago doing recordings based on something that they will, you know, sing on stage. But to say that was the ultimate motive, or to say that, okay, it's something that drives their set and drives what they perform, it wasn't like that before. So I really trying to figure out why it is now in such abundance, you know, in terms of having all of these artists, almost all of them coming to you and telling you, well, I need to have this because I need to perform it. I don't think other genres of music have it that way, where you want to perform something on stage, you just, you know, practice, rehearse, do it on stage. No need to record it. You have to record everything. At least that's my perspective.
Performance is a live performance. Yeah?
Exactly.
I mean, I understand.
Exactly.
All right, so let's examine this. A live performance, so you're recording. Okay, so what I'm getting from you is that artists and bands are recording live arrangements as a song to play on air or just share, right?
Not the live arrangements. It's actually saying, okay, I like this song and I want to perform it. I have not performed it as yet. In a lot of cases now, I have not performed it as yet, or maybe I have done it once or twice, but I don't have a recording, right?
Oh, so it's just, let's say, like cover songs they're taking.
Not only cover songs, even the chutney songs that they like, they will go and record it in their way, right? So it's like, okay, I like, let's say, I'm just going to say one of the legends, Kanchan or Sundar Popo.
Yeah. I
like how Sundar or Kanchan sang that song, and I want to perform it on stage, but I want to do my recording of it. Or I like how Kumar Sanu or Arijit Singh or whoever sang that song, so I'm going to perform it on stage, but first, let's do a recording. So I will have it as a recording, and people will either request it or not, but it'll be there as a recording, and it'll also be part of my live, you know, whatever it is.
Okay, so wait. Could this be an issue of ownership then? To say that if you have a recording of it, it becomes their song. So they have a reason or a right to perform it then. Basically, you think that's what it is?
I think maybe in one or two cases, or maybe more than a couple of cases, they may be thinking it, but there's no way of owning a song like that when it was not yours in the first place, right?
Well, okay, I think we've gone way past that. These songs that don't belong to anybody here, right?
Right.
But if they believe, so is it that they believe that if they have a version, let's say Sarah, right? With the million and one versions it has, right? If you have a song like Sarah, that means if someone was to sing Sarah on stage, artists will go and record it and release the song so that they could sing that version on stage
Right.
Yeah.
So they'll record it using the loops and the instrumental and the pieces of whatever they need to use in the song, the same way it's going to be used on stage. Same. So they're not going to be playing like a live version or a version close to the original. They're going to be doing it to the music that they recorded with the song. You understand now? So if they want to do a breakdown, if they want to do like a medley, 3-4 songs in a medley, they will record it that way and sing it the same way on stage. So you understand what I mean? You understand where I'm coming from in terms of
Yeah, but this thing evolving now.
evolving in what way?
Let's not get into that. So I think that it's because they feel as though it, again, the ownership thing, right? Like to say, okay, this is my song or this is my version.
It could be.
So instead of just performing it live that way, they need to have a recorded version so that maybe people could request that song. So when they perform it live, it will be as though it's the song that they released as the live version. Basically.
I guess so.
So it is. So I guess it is it will now become the live arrangement, because if you're saying that they're recording medleys, then that's typically a thing that anybody would do live,
right?
As a live arrangement. Then, so let's say if your song is in the same key of some other song, you might start let's say if you sing in Gatarahe or something, and then you realize some dancehall song from the 80s or the 90s was in the same key, and I started singing that song. And then you come back to Gatarahe, right?
Yeah.
So they will just record that same thing then. But now it's about what you're saying is that it's become so far gone that they will take the medleys of the performance style, record that, and then just sing it over. Because, well, I mean, is that it?
Well, sometimes I've heard a band or an artist sing a medley or sing a song one way. Then they go and record it a different way. And then when they hit the stage again, they start singing it the new way, the way of the recording. You understand? So maybe there was like no direction before in terms of where they wanted to go and they just did a generic something. But now, when the recording is done, we do it the way of the recording. You understand? So it kind of like, from what you're saying about ownership, it kind of like is my one. You know what I mean?
My one, yeah. This is my one.
Yeah.
You didn't hear my one? They play my one on radio, It's my one.
Exactly. So
no, there's not he one. This is my one.
That's my one. Right. So after the recording, you're not going to hear it as you heard it before in a kind of generic sense with a generic loop or just a regular instrumental. Now you're going to hear it how the recording has it. So it really is in a sense kind of like owning the cover or whatever it is you're doing.
And I'll just jump to something on the side. Let's just say if you do a cover, right, which is being done, it seems almost every week, if not more.
No, every day.
Okay, every day.
Every day.
I said corrected. It's not even a thing if it's legal or not. It's not even about that anymore. Is that is it cool? Because I will tell you, I would listen to radio and I would hear some really good cover versions. And it's good, right? But then now, again, it comes up to, let's say, the recent songs.
Right.
And if you cover in recent songs, whether it be Bollywood or mix up with any sort of thing, it's weird. And then I started to wonder, okay, is this cool for who? Right? So if somebody wants to hear a Bollywood song, they would listen to the Bollywood song or tune into a station that plays that. But then when you have so many of the same versions, let's say any song that has come out recently or within the past year, let's say if you have like 3 different versions of that now, and I am listening to radio wanting to hear the original song, no problem if somebody covers the song, but when you have 2 and 3, I'm wondering if artists are really thinking about, okay, do we really need another one? Do I really need to release my version? And then what you're explaining now in this here episode is that it's being compounded now because not only you want to hear and have your one and your version now, you're going to put even more of none of your material into it and make it into a medley to make people feel as though they request that. And when they see you or live or performing somewhere, or maybe not, that's what you're going to perform. So this getting worse.
Well, I mean, I don't know if bands and artists think that now, if I, me as an artist, if they as artists think, now, okay, if I do it in a particular way, with a particular beat and a particular rhythm and a particular dancehall song or whatever, it would people would kind of have that, uppermost in their minds and say, yeah, I like that particular version, and it gives them more airplay if they get more requests and people request it when they're live. I don't know. I really don't know what the thinking is behind it, because again, I am not the expert in some of the other genres, but I have seen a lot of bands and artists outside of chutney perform. You don't have to go too far. Again, just look at the soca world, and there's so many bands that perform all sorts of songs that they don't sing, in terms of they have not recorded.
But they're not going to record their live arrangement.
Right. And they will do it from time to time, depending on the event. And yeah, it's all well and good to hear those songs live on stage. But if these bands outside of chutney start to record some of these things, then it's going to be a little weird. It's going to be seriously weird to be seeing, I don't know, some of the top stars coming and saying, well, I like this and I feel I want to sing this. So I'll go in and record this song. So next time I hit the stage for this fete, and they could request it on the radio stations. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm real lost.
So So here's what my thoughts are at this point in time. That's a really smart way of doing something not so smart. Because maybe you might have fewer bookings. Maybe
Right.
you have, fewer shows to go to or wherever you perform.
Mm-hmm.
So by recognizing that now, fewer people are getting to see what you are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
So they're now taking all of that they would prepare and package for a live show and now putting it into recording, hoping that they could generate the interest in them. So whenever they hear, okay, artist A or artist B or band C or band B is performing whatever, you could hear this song, which automatically becomes their song. They're performing it at so-and-so location or club or bar or wherever.
Right.
So to me, I believe that's what it is. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'm sure that is part of it. I'm sure that's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say, as a person that works in media, are you seeing or hearing about or recognizing an uptick in shows or performances? Or are you hearing stuff about, a lot of shows coming up in the near future, let's say for summertime? Are you hearing about a lot of shows that's coming up?
I think the shows that we see that are happening on a regular basis, the bars have really taken over. Of course, they still have the boat rides. They still do well. But the big shows, I don't see any big shows outside of Carnival still. Probably in North America, yes, there are a few big shows. And, a lot of the artists from Trinidad and Guyana try to get into these shows in North America.
So would you say are you recognizing that there's an uptick or an increase in the amount of shows abroad then?
I wouldn't say an uptick. I think it's basically about the same.
More like the regular stuff?
Yeah, regular stuff, or if one or two drop off, one or two come on, that kind of thing. So,
Okay.
like now, you don't see the Mother's Day weekend being as big as it used to be, where it used to have 8, 9, 10 shows in different cities. Now it's way down, and then maybe another part of the quote-unquote summer, you see other shows popping up. So I guess it's just this, same amount, same number of shows.
I was wondering about something the other day. I was like, okay, let's say that an artist gives themselves a name, right? So like they have their artist name, but they call themselves, let's just say, the biggest and baddest around, right? Let's just say someone calls them that. They say, I am artist A, the biggest and baddest around. Right?
Yeah.
So I think it might come a time where somebody like artist G or D or E or Z is going to come up and say, yeah, I am artist Z, the biggest and baddest around. And it's going to be okay. Because we just copy and take in.
Yeah. Yep.
That's how bad it is now.
You're talking about taken from another genre, of course.
Dread, not even that. Because if you're saying that people just taken from within the industry right now, something else might come there. Somebody might say the bigger and baddest or wherever it is. You know, it's like, you know, where is anything sacred anymore?
Nothing.
Are there any limits?
Nothing chutney. There's nothing sacred in chutney.
Because, guys, I mean, who is your market? Okay, my feeling on this right now is that I think artists feel as though they're safe. If they just bubble like right here, and just keep it right here, is cool. Let me explain why. Recently, I went to a local music and business conference. So it included musicians, people in the film industry, people in, well, of course, music and social media. And from the people that I met and saw there, I could not make out one person involved in or associated with the chutney music industry.
Wow.
I saw people from soca music. I saw people from social media, big creators.
Right.
I saw, well, a lot of people from the film industry and managers, motivational speakers, life coaches, that kind of thing. All sorts of different people who would be like high-ranking people in entertainment, whether it be visual or audio, social, or anything like that, right? And there's nobody represented from the chutney music industry to even be it as wide as possible, right? And I'm looking at all of these people. I spoke with some of them afterwards, and I could not make out anybody. Nobody, none, right? So if people from the industry are not attending these things or not interested in taking their brand further, because a big part of your music and stuff is your brand, right? What is your brand? If your brand is like down here and you just cool with it and you just sailing through on that level, don't expect to get anything up here. Right? Don't expect to be performing in certain arenas or getting your music synced to a TV show or a movie or something like that. Hard luck. You know, you cool just like that. So don't blame anybody but yourself, right? Don't wait for no big guns to do anything or whatever. You all need to realize that you all are the creators. You all are the ones that decide what you record or not. So it should not matter, well, band A or artist B or group C doing this thing so let me just do something like that now. No, man.
I think it's evident now. You know, we've been asking the question for the last few months. Why is it done? You know, for what reason? In terms of the way the music industry on the chutney side is with covers and just rehashing stuff over and over and over. I think we could safely say that a lot of the industry, most of the industry right now, is very happy in this space, very comfortable, as you said, with the lack of growth, the lack of vision, the lack of wanting to be in a different space. And they're just happy where they are now. And that rotation and that, you know, them just revolving in that space over and over, doing the same thing, just adding more covers and more rehashed stuff. It's like they're fine with it. They're happy with it now.
It's okay.
It's okay, and they don't want to go any further. Some of them probably not even thinking that there is further for them, despite what we say and others say. So I get that feeling from a lot of them. Just talking to them, you know, like, if we get X, Y, and Z that we've been getting for the last 10 years, 15 years, that's fine. If we do X, Y, and Z that we've been doing for the last 10, 15 years, that's fine as well. And they're content, they're very much content with it.
So let me tell you something, right? This is something that I want to discuss, or at least to get to, right? Let's say from that conference that I went to,
right,
I actually did meet and speak with and would have contacts with several of these speakers and other people that I would have met there. Let's just say, because of my relationship with them as a professional in the industry, let's say someone reaches out to me and says, okay, so we're looking for somebody who could do this type of music, and you think anybody have this kind of vibe that could flow on this, whatever, this kind of thing, whatever. You think anybody that have music like this, or that could fit this, whatever, that kind of thing? I can't recommend anybody. Who am I going to recommend? Let's say if somebody for a television show, let's say from Netflix or some kind of thing, right? Will say, okay, yo, here this now. I know that you're involved in these kind of things and you do this, whatever, whatever. You know anybody who could probably be like a good fit for this or that or whatever? And I can't recommend anybody from the chutney industry, at least for the most part. Anybody who's making any current music right now, I can't recommend anybody, because if I recommend somebody who's doing covers, what are they going to do? Say, oh, well, let me see if I could come up with something. Because you have to be able to prove yourself now. Because how it works is that nobody's going to give you time to prep, You have to be ready from now. So let's just say that a movie puts out a thing where they're looking for a song for the credits of this movie. So how it works is that, let's say you have a song that is already done or that you're working on. What you need to do is that you have to either finish that song or wrap it up and mix and master it and everything, whether it be yourself doing it or somebody else. You get it done. And then you send it off as a finished product.
Right.
Or as finished as you could possibly get it, right? So that when the people listen to it, they'll be like, okay, let's say if it's for the Fast and Furious movie or something like that. And you have, it'll be real cool to have a RRL sick chutney on a Fast and Furious movie, just by the way. I could actually hear it, but no covers, sorry. You just got to write something there. But let's just say if it's for Fast and Furious, and you send something that sounds amazing, that will just go into the short list. To say, all right, let's put this to the director and the producer and whoever else and whoever needs to hear this. Let's get into the room of 20 or 30 people that needs to hear this kind of thing, run the credits, and let's see if this thing works.
Well, as you're saying that, right?
Yeah, but where are they? You can't even go in the room, right? How do you enter? Nobody's there. Nobody's ready to say, right, I have something for that. I was just holding on to our original just for this opportunity. The room for that is like zero or like this.
Yeah. Well, segueing from that, right? Good that you said that, and something that we didn't really plan to talk about per se. But do you think right now, from your perspective, because I know from my perspective where I could kind of probably understand where some of the artists are and where the others are. Do you think right now there is the ability to create original music from these artists, most of these artists, or even some of these artists, the ability to create from scratch a melody, lyrics, and, concepts and everything else that has to go with an original song? Do you think now a lot of these artists have it in them to do it as an industry?
Okay, so short answer, yes. yes. Because you know what? Whoever produces the music has to start with bling, or picking a mouse on something, or typing up something, or creating some MIDI notes, or pulling out a sample from somewhere. Everybody starts either on the MPC, a groove box, or inside the box, which is the computer.
Right.
And they choose what notes to play. So let me give you one of several different ways that you could, as they say, steal like an artist. So what you could do, let's say if you have Ciara is in a particular, like the song, right? The title track. The song is in a particular key.
Right.
Let's say if it's in A minor, C major, whatever it is, right? Let's say you take the same exact notes that are played in the lead. So let's say, so let's just say you take the exact notes ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 ba, right? Those exact same notes for the same length, for the same 4 bars, you could rearrange those same notes in an order that is different from the Sahara song.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So you take the same notes. So if it starts off da 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 da, but it progresses to da 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 da. You go da 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 da, or something like that. So
Yeah,
you take
change it
the
around,
same notes, shift it around, make it into your own order, shorten things, lengthen things. You don't need to make this thing hard, and you could create something from right there. Start with 1 bar. Ba 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 da ba ba. So let's say that's 3 notes.
Right.
Rearrange 3 notes at a time.
Yeah.
1 bar. Second bar, rearrange how much notes you have in that. Third bar, rearrange the notes. Fourth bar, rearrange the notes. This is not rocket science.
But then why isn't it being done? Is it that the artists are lazy? Again, we come back to this question that we asked 2 or 3 times or 4 times. That is it laziness? Is it not wanting to put out the extra effort? Is it just saying that this is easier and this is what they're taking anyway, so let me not work any extra or put out any extra? I mean, is it all of that and more? What really is the reason why?
I can't answer because I'm not in the studios. Yeah, I can't answer because I'm not in the studio with them, but I could understand why they would do it. But the reason, or at least one of the reasons, is absolutely ridiculous. And I'll tell you, if people say, and I mean, you've mentioned it on the podcast before, if you hear an artist or people from a band saying, well, the people know this song, how you think they know this song? Because it becomes popular because it's good.
Yeah.
So it's the natural progression of a song. You release a song, you promote it, you market it, you shop it around, you get in people's faces, you do the social media things, wherever, you get people to just hear the song. So as soon as, let's say for me, when I hear a song that I like, I swipe down on my phone and press the big S, that's for Shazam, to identify the song. When I realize what song it is, I like it, I download it on my streaming platform one time.
Right.
One time. That's how I operate, right? Some other people may not operate like that. They might say, hey, would the station just play that, boy? So then they will wait for the announcer to back announce and say, all right, well, that was so-and-so from so-and-so, wherever. Right? Why can't they do that for your song? Your song that you did not take, right? They could well do that because you know what? All the time, like right now, I saw one Cineplex advertising at least 3 Indian movies that they're showing, right? Let's just say that at least, let's say 1 song, maybe 2 songs from these movies, get a little better popular and get some airplay or whatever. How people learning that song and want to request it? How are they doing that, eh?
Yeah.
Why do you think that you need to say, oh, it's okay to just sponge off of or piggyback off of these people and is okay because everybody doing it? No, what about if everybody start getting lock off? What about everybody start getting charged? Right? Yeah. I'm not saying that's going to happen or anything, but you greatly diminishing your opportunities as an artist if you're thinking like that. So as an artist, again, I, as well as other hopefully sensible people, believe that creators are people that create or they know how to take from everywhere because there's no original chord progression anymore. There are no new chords or scales coming out. Right? We have everything. There are no further notes to be added to the keyboard or to the guitar. There are no more. Right? We work in a finite set of scales and notes right now. Yeah. Unless somebody come up with something crazy. I mean, you could come up with your own scale, right? But it will be something like real weird, right?
Yeah.
But there are only so many notes.
But the thing is, again, I mean, I've had so many conversations with artists and I ask them straight up. I say, okay, why soca, right? Dancehall, pop, R&B, whatever. Why, when they come up with these original songs, they are loved and accepted? Well, that's those genres. People like to hear original songs in those genres, but chutney is different. They go with things that are more familiar.
And so all Bollywood songs are familiar then.
Apparently.
Come now, man, how weak
Apparently.
is that? Okay,
Apparently.
so let's
And they
say
justify it. They justify it by saying, well, you see how good these songs did and how well these songs did and popular they were because they identify with certain melodies and certain things they know from before. So that is why we can't be like the other genres. We can't come up with originals like that. I mean, maybe
we
once
need to
in a
give
while.
those
But
artists a serious self-esteem kick, right? A serious self-esteem kick. Because if you're telling yourself that that's what the people want or that's all they could take or whatever, then you actually saying that your audience is,
basically.
or are you only performing for drunk people, which is not out of the ordinary, but at the same time, everybody could still hum a old and a new Indian song.
I want to hear
While
that
drunk.
Sayara. Sing it for me now, Sayara. I like that
Yeah,
tune.
come on, man. That excuse is weak, right? So I just gave people one,
Yeah.
one. Because I mean, I am a teacher of music software, so
Right.
I know how to do these things. Take the notes. Take the notes that are used in not even the scale, in the song. Still like an artist, right? You take the notes that are in the song and you just move them around and create something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And just start there and start writing something.
I was actually watching, there was a duo on stage a few years ago. Two guys who did like a medley of songs that were popular from the 80s to the 90s, I think even to the early 2000s, pop songs, right? Top 40 songs. And they say, look how easy it is. And they started on stage. They say everything is basically one progression or one type of arrangement or whatever. And all the popular songs have been done on that particular arrangement or that particular progression. And they started to run a rhythm and started to run a kind of, again, a melody or whatever. And all the popular songs that they sang over it were completely different songs, right? And it's only when they
key and scale. Yeah.
right, and when they broke it down and took off the lyrics and took off any of the additional parts and just broke it down to the, as you said, the scale and the key and everything, is the same thing running over and over, but created for different songs in such a different way that you don't even recognize it
That's what I'm saying.
unless it's broken down. And I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, because there was an interview between Teddy Riley, who is from Blackstreet and guy, right? Big producer, artist, everything. And he did an interview with a YouTuber called Sanjay C. Not sure if you know about him, right? He does a lot of gear reviews and music software reviews and stuff like that.
Right.
And he was explaining that all his music is just in the scale of F. And he's like, all of it, everything. So everything is in F. And I mean, I hope I'm quoting him correctly, right? But everything was just in F. And I was like, okay. So imagine if you have a recipe like that. Let's say some people are watching the podcast because I realize that this podcast reaching artists more than other people, right? So let's just say if you hear that and you realize that and you say, really? Let's start writing in F for F sharp or something like that, right? So then now you're working with a limited set of notes. And now you come up with your chords. If you want to go emotional, you go in minor keys. So you start playing certain notes and then you could come up with something and then get something to write on it. Because if you could write these, I mean, I'll say outrageous lyrics for the in-between parts of the stealing of the music, wherever it is doing, right?
Yeah.
Sorry to put it that harshly, but that's what it is. So yeah, but if you choose to write, because in between those parts here, everybody put up your hand now, everybody jump up now, going down so good, anything like that, right? And that came from somewhere,
of
right?
course,
From your head, right? So come up with something. Just write line by line. Just write what you feel. It does not have to be like the absolute wonderful thing. And the producers of these songs have the biggest part to play, because they could choose to say, all right, now, hear this now. You're really not sounding so good, or them lyrics not working. Get somebody to help in your writing and whatever.
You see, that might be the next topic. You see, producers, That might be the next topic.
It's up to the producers, literally. Nobody could tell me that I'm wrong. It's up to the producers. If the producers say no, it's no, right? The artists will just have to stop, either go by somebody else, learn to make it themselves, or just wheel and come again. But it's up to the producers. Everything that you hear on the radio is because of producers.
Yep.
All of them.
Yep.
Right? It's up to the producers. So if the producers say yes to something, it's because of the producer.
Well, just touching on it a little bit, the producers have it very hard because that's their main, in most cases, the main source of income, recording songs. And they're really in a kind of quandary in terms of produce this song that I know should be done a different way, maybe more original, maybe put more effort and energy, or reject the song because of my integrity as a producer and not wanting to have these regurgitated things going on over and over and over and coming out of my studio over and over and losing the income because that's my income. Then I have my integrity. That's my income. Then I have a certain brand, how to maintain the brand and maintain the income. And it's really a tough spot that they are in, a real tough spot.
No, that's a weak business model, right? Because if you're just waiting on people to just come to you, no, right? Even I have done it, right? Me, nobody. I have called artists to record things that were outside of the box, and they did it because they were interested in the project. So if you could get artists, if you could make something, and you're already making music, it's not making music.
Not happening in the chutney industry. What you're saying there, not happening. If you study the chutney industry carefully and listen to all the releases, 90-something% of those releases are not, okay, come on, let me do something outside the box, or come on, let me do something different. So how much time these
producers really have or don't have if you can't just work on something, right? Let's just say you try to come up with something for an hour, and you use the same technique that I explained before. Use that same technique. And you just come up with something and say, hey, enter know so-and-so. So what is that? They just know artists when they come to the studio? No, you must know somebody. Call somebody, send them a WhatsApp. And say, hey, this now, I have something here. Just tell me what you're feeling on this. Write something that you feel, because that's the other part of music that is so important. There are a lot of artists that could sing, but they cannot connect. Right? I hear some artists that are being played on radio and it literally sounds like they are in pain. I'm not talking about emotional pain, that they are in anguish of some part of them hurting, right? And I'm like, why is this being played on radio? It's because these people have a name or they know somebody or whatever, and it's horrible. So when I hear that now, and when other people hear that, you'll realize that you have fewer and fewer people having any interest in the whole genre or on the radio station, and they'll switch to another one. And
if
when
I tell you
that station is like, no, I'm tolerating this. Why listening for if that isn't which is coming on radio?
If I tell you there's some producers who are very brilliant, right? Brilliant. They have a quite an extensive resume. And those producers, some of them still tell you, nah, let me not do this because I ain't thinking it will score. That's not what the market want. The market want X, Y, and Z because of past experience. I know that this wouldn't score. So let me get them what they want, right? And they talk and they say the exact same things as many of the artists out there. If I tell you there are producers like that, would you believe me?
That's what the people want?
Yeah.
Well, again, it's the wrong
that won't
side.
score. This will score. I know why, because we have a history of this. And this is how it's been done all the time. So let me do it this way because that's what the market wants.
Well, let me do an unfair comparison with soca music, right? Soca music and the producers, they look at global trends because they sing in English. They listen to the tones that are being used in the music. So let's say Bruno Mars has a new album. They listen to some of the styles that he has. And they will incorporate, let's say, an instrument that is used in, let's say, in a Bruno Mars song and put it in a soca song.
Right.
That's how they incorporate things. They don't take what Bruno Mars is singing and sing it over. Right? Because the thing is that soca music is on a much bigger stage now and is being presented on much larger stages now. And I'm not only talking about performance stages. I'm speaking about where it's being put into television shows.
Yeah, of course.
It's been put into different places. right? So like even Drake sampling Dennis Belfont thing now.
Mm-hmm.
So is Chutney ready for that? You know, what are they doing? So I think it's wrong side. If you're waiting for somebody to tell you this is what the people like and you just doing that, then you're not an artist. You're not a creator.
Yep.
You're just following. You're not leading. You're not creating. So why should I give you respect then? I'm just asking. This is just a harsh reality and a harsh truth I want artists to know, right? Why should I respect you for doing that? Why should I give you my hard-earned money? Why should I want to hear what you have to say when you're just saying something that is not even yours, that belongs to somebody else? And if you even buy, let's say if you even buy the rights for any song that you're singing over, is it cool?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Because I think that ship sailed a long time, right? It's not cool. Again, some covers are really good, you know.
Yeah,
but don't tell me I could go on, I could shop that, let's say, I wouldn't even say that at my level, right? But because of people that I know, somebody might ask me and say, hey, we're going to really chutney, what we could put out there for this. I have this project coming up. If I have anything that coming up, I'm looking for something in left field. Who I going to recommend?
Who
am I going to recommend? I'm not talking about artists, you know. I'm talking about songs. Because you're going to ask, okay, where's the song that we could use? I can't go now and say, hey, artist Z. It's not. So and so have a project going on, right? You could do a song for it? No. Because then they're going to say, right, how much they paying me? Nobody hire you yet, brethren.
You know who could do it? Chutney Sono.
Who says that ain't even happening yet? I'm sure that happening.
Chutney
Actually,
GPT.
You don't need to do that.
Chutney GPT and Chutney Sono present Kaike Pan in your dunya.
It's Chat GPT, not Chat. Chat GPT.
Yeah. Chat GPT. What do you think somebody take that or not? That Chat GPT, boy.
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT, let me do that now.
Hey, let me do a Chat GPT now. I said, oh, go ahead, run with it. Run with it, run wild. God, no way. Yeah, so again, I'm saying these things, but I'm also saying that nothing is impossible. But, Dread, if you are hoping to find some sort of success or reach somewhere in your music career and you're not doing something original, it's like you are telling me and you're telling your audience that, okay, I'm fine right here. Let's just sing in these places here. I'll get hired for these certain types of shows. And getting hired for any show is fine. I'm cool with that. You getting hired, that is very commendable. But if you tell me that is the highest that it could go, I'm telling you that your eyes are closed, that you are literally walking and just watching your feet, right? And you're not seeing that, okay, it's possible to reach this goal here, right? That's why we even doing this podcast. Right? We're not here to just bad talk anything or just say, all right, well, I could record something and just put it out there. We're not wasting our time to do that because we know people out there who are either interested or used to be interested in the industry, as well as I explained earlier in the video, that there are literal avenues that you could get to put your music in television shows and in movies, in shorts, in music, in movie festivals, those kind of things. And you are like nowhere on their scope. You're not even present in the conference. You're not even there. You know, so what does that tell me? That shows me that, hey, listen, you know, I had to tuck my tail between my legs because I don't have no representatives from the chutney industry here to say, hey, well, let me go and talk to this producer, or let's go and talk to this this person doing this or whatever, right? Like, I actually know a real big producer who was there, right? And he works on both music and movies. And I was like, yo, was he seen, boy? And ting, whatever. It's like, right, I say, whether local or international, I'll see you again. He say, yeah, brother. Because he's at Trinity, right?
Right.
But, you know, how I cannot look that man in the eye and say, and if he says, hey, you know, so-and-so, you have anything? I know you're connected with the chutney industry. You have anybody who could do so-and-so? Next thing I'll tell him to watch the podcast. Right? He might ask again. He might say, hey, who I could have to offer?
I was going to talk to Richard, but forget about it. I ain't talking to him again.
Yeah. And then
check somebody else.
He'd be like, yeah, you have anybody you could recommend? What's the biggest tune, whatever? And I'll be like, yeah, the biggest tune is this, but you cannot. Now, here's the real thing, It's not even that it's just a cover. It's that yeah, let's just say if they ask and I put forward a song, right? Let's just say you have a big song, a big chutney or chutney soca or cover, whatever it is, right? And I put that forward now. And you have and you sing over some kind of thing inside of that. You know what they're going to say? Well, this has a sample, man, or whatever accent they'll have.
Yeah.
Say, okay, this got a sample in it, man. You think they got clearance for that?
Clearance,
like,
yeah.
well,
Yeah, they went to the store at that clearance sale.
good one. That's a good. That's the clearance thing. I get the clearance sale. Yeah, you have clearance for that. Yeah, you have clearance from the clearance sale. Right. So
Well, again,
people, artists, you all realize the position you all are putting yourselves in. So when it have people like me, Big Daddy, other people who are associated in the industry, come on, you know us. If there's an opportunity out there, we hear about it, which I do because I'm actually in groups where these things come up. And I don't think there are any chutney artists in those groups either. So it's like, what are you all doing? Like, where are you all? Your scope is like just here when it could be like way higher. So, I mean, listen, if it's not in your ambition to do it, well, fine. Okay, go about your day. Have a lovely day, right? But I'm just telling you that you could get represented and get yourself out there, either on the big screen, the small screen, the short screen, the tall screen, something. You could get your music out there because if you do something original, it'll be easy to pitch. And when you pitch it to a producer or somebody else, they might say, hey, this is real cool. Does it have any samples in it? No. Okay, this is all original? Yeah. Right. Okay, it sounds really good. Right. Okay. Let me play it I'll talk to you next week or whatever. Hey, we taking it. That is it. Song gone. Ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 10. Thank you so very much for tuning in and staying till the end. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Big Daddy, for being here, making the time. This was a really nice, fun one. I feel good today. All right, Anting, eh? All right. Later, Father.